Hello, welcome to the 199 Unlisted podcast. My name is Frank. I'll be sitting here talking to you for a few minutes. As usual, I'm wearing clothes. I'm wearing a Cleveland Indians hat and a Public Spaces pullover that cost over $100. Yeah, I'm a loser. Anyway, I was on Facebook and I saw a random story and it made me laugh. And so I went to the New York Post and I found the story. And New Jersey teacher got pregnant by student she groomed. I don't know why groomed is in quotation marks. And broke teen's heart by aborting the baby. Oh, that just brings me great joy. Yeah, and of course it's a woman. Like female teachers are the real pedophiles. Like how many stories do you hear of male teachers dating their students compared to the female teachers? Like I'm pretty sure it's like 10 to 1. Like I don't remember the last time I heard of a male teacher dating a student, but you hear the about the females like all the time, it seems like. But anyway, um obviously I'm not going to read all this because I know my uh audience. But anyway, um I'll read you like the first paragraph. A twisted New Jersey teacher who groomed and abused two students ended up getting pregnant by one of the teens, then broke his heart by getting an abortion. Oh God, I almost fainted. Wow. Okay, it was revealed that she was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Wait a moment. She she actually got jail time. Women never get jail time for this. Julie Rosatello, what? Rosatello? Nice name. Julie Rosatello, who was an English teacher at, it doesn't matter, had told one of her victims that she'd gotten pregnant after convincing him to have unprotected sex with her on his birthday. It was revealed in court Wednesday, according to Jersey Shore Online. Oh my God. That is so funny. That is so funny. She had told one of her victims that she had gotten pregnant after convincing him to have unprotected sex with her on his. Oh my God. That is so funny. Okay. Um, the 37-year-old mom later informed the teenager, whom she groomed as a freshman, that she terminated the pregnancy. Oh my God. Not only does he have to deal with the fact that he's groomed throughout his entire high school years. Yeah, I don't think he cares. Anyway, not only does he have to deal with the fact that he's groomed throughout his entire high school years, that he was preyed upon by his teacher who he loved and trusted. Interesting. Interesting. See, and I'm being serious when I say this. This is why you have to start watching porn early. Okay? If this kid had watched porn, he wouldn't have fallen in love with the teacher. He wouldn't have trusted the teacher. He would have just thought, she was three holes. Anyway, that he was sexually abused by his teacher. Um, Judge Jill Grace O'Malley told the hearing of the young victim. But now he's struggling to come to terms with the fact that this individual had an abortion and he wasn't comfortable with it. This is the psychological impact, the devastation. Um, so I'm just gonna assume, he's a teenager. So let's just say he's 16. So you're telling me that the 16-year-old who was in love with his teacher is devastated because the 37-year-old teacher had an abortion. I don't know. I just don't. I don't think a 16-year-old wants a baby. I don't think a 16-year-old wants to be a father. I don't think a 16-year-old was in love. And this is the problem because it's a news story. I don't believe it. Like there's just certain parts I just don't believe because I have no trust in the media. I mean, like, and this is the New York. Wait, is the New York Post the good one, or is it the? I think the New York Post is the one. Let me double check. One of them is actually good. It might be the Post because one of them tried because I'll base it on the Biden laptop story because I think the Post wanted to print it. Okay, the New York Post actually said the Hunter Biden laptop was real. Okay, interesting, interesting. Anyway, um, here's the thing. If this, if the boy would have started watching porn at a young age, he would have lost all respect for women and just viewed them as sex objects and wouldn't have to go through this stuff because how many how many porn scenes are teacher student, and it goes both ways. There's just as many male teacher porn scenes with girls and as female teachers with the boys. So and there's some lesbian ones, but anyway, like, see, by having a porn brain, he would have just gone for the ride and just sex, 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 and not even complain. But if he's really devastated, it means he probably watches like the Hallmark Channel. Yeah. Okay, I'm recording. It's okay. Um. Okay. Well, that was awkward. Anyway, but see him getting, I mean, her getting an abortion. I heard a stat that like worldwide, because like right now we're going through a population crisis, right? I heard a stat that 40% of pregnancies end in abortion. Now, if that is remotely true, because they have to you know get this information from willing participants and all that stuff. But anyway, let's just say that that number's true. Okay, at 40%, we are gonna go extinct. Okay, but anyway, but this particular case, you have a 37-year-old teacher grooming her whatever ninth grade student, and then around whatever 10th grade, 11th grade, whatever, they're hooking up, and she gets pregnant. Do you want that woman to reproduce? Because like a lot of these people who are getting the abortions, you don't want them to reproduce, but it is affecting the world because we are going through a population decline, and it's just gonna get worse. You know. Anyway, let's see. The first boy with whom she got pregnant was a freshman when she started grooming him in 2017. She told him she dreamed of having sex with him, which they did multiple times in 2017 and 2018. Okay, see, I don't think that's love. Like if you have if I'm any age and a female tells me, "Yeah, I dream of having sex with you." Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to have sex with her. This is grooming. It is traditional grooming that I see every week here in this courthouse. Damn, how many? You telling me every week you got a case of a woman in her 30s with a 15-year-old? This is the behavior of a standard sexual predator. You're no different, the judge told the teacher, according to Jersey Shore Online. Anyway, she also targeted another boy, an 18-year-old student, in early 2024. The sex pest teacher copped to having sex with both boys at her home, in parking lots, and even at their family owned bagel shop where the two victims worked. So they were, wow. When the teacher kept when the teacher kept interrupting to deny being a groomer, the judge snapped, "Stop shaking your head. These are the facts." Sounds like the judge is grandstanding. After she was arrested in July 2024, prosecutors said she contacted both victims and asked that they scrub their phones and devices of any evidence. Okay, why are you keeping evidence in the first place? There should be no evidence. There should be no texting. There should be no voice messages. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna break the law, like, I guess break the law, but don't leave a paper trail. Like, if you're doing this, just have verbal conversations. Um, these crimes are not isolated incidents constituting moments of poor judgment. They were textbook case of grooming involving a defendant who repeatedly leveraged tactics of isolation, manipulation, and control for the sake of her own selfish purpose. Wow. Wow. They are really throwing harsh words at her. The egregious nature of the conduct was further compounded by the plain fact that the emotional and psychological harm she inflicted came at the expense of two of the very same young minds she had been entrusted to develop immature in nature. We have too many female teachers in the first place because apparently all of them are pervs. Apparently, because they're the only ones getting arrested for this. Anyway, I just don't understand how, like, you would think this woman would just go on Tinder, but then I guess she liked. Oh, you know what? She probably had the porn brain, and her favorite porn was the teacher student porn. See, that's a problem. Porn good for teenage boys. Porn bad for women in their 30s. Think about that. Porn good for teenage boys, porn bad for women in their 30s. Because she probably had porn brain and was like, "Hey, I just saw this porn of this teacher and then student, blah blah blah," and so she was trying to like live out her fantasies. But see, the student, if he was trying to live out his fantasies and the teacher was just normal, nothing would have happened. See, now once again, we're all adults here. She made her decision, but I do think that the porn gave her the idea. But I'm also not advocating to end porn. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not one of those people. Everyone is an adult. If you want to watch porn, watch porn. But man, but seriously, her having an abortion is a good thing. It's like, see, the part about this story I don't believe is the kid being devastated that she got an abortion. Because why would you want a kid at whatever 16, 17 from your teacher? Like the whole, I don't get that part. I just think they're saying that to get more sympathy, and the kid's gonna probably start a GoFundMe, and it's gonna be like, the money I would have spent on my child or something like that. Oh my god. And she's okay. The most important thing about her looks wise, she's skinny. Okay, that's all I need. She's not fat. She doesn't look. She looks like she takes care of herself. Because that is, God, how many women are just shaped like beach balls? Okay, at least this 37-year-old woman. I mean, she's in better shape than some women in their 20s. Okay, so I will give her that. She definitely looks like she exercises. Okay, you can tell she cares what she looks like. Okay, so she obviously because you can tell she cares what she looks like. She wasn't getting enough attention at home. I bet you her husband was not paying attention to her. And what is a teenage boy gonna do to her? Give her lots of attention. So because women don't like accountability, I blame her husband. I blame porn, and I blame feminism for her getting the abortion. Accountability has been avoided. Anyway, I've said enough because I said some horrible things. You guys have a good one. Talk to dinner. Peace.